What's going on, guys? I have Craig on the line right now. I don't know what he wants to talk about, but he's on the phone with me right now. What's going on, Craig?
Oh man, just living life, front porch swinging. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, man. So, what is it you want to talk about?
Oh man, any and everything. I feel like a lot of people have put my name out there here lately, and I've got some answers for some things. Everybody wants to throw these stats out there and what they think, and it's fucking utter bullshit is what it is if you ask me. But I'll let people talk. I've never had a problem with letting people talk.
Well, after listening to Alfredo's interview, I mean, what do you have to say to him?
He sounds like the fucking immigrant from fucking South Park who only knows how to say football. And that's how drunk I was. I feel like he was drunker than me.
Well, we kind of got Diggy kind of wasted after y'all left. You know, he kind of did make us like 4 shots.
Shots poured, and it was a good time. Feel like I left a little early, maybe.
You kind of did. I think, what is it, your niece and her boyfriend had to come and get you?
Oh yeah, you know me. I try to keep it safe, no drinking and driving. You know
Hey.
what I mean?
Hey, man.
Try to play it smart.
I give you that. As long as you made it home safe. But I really do got to talk about your draft, man. I mean, for you being drunk as fuck, you had a fantastic draft.
I wouldn't say fantastic, but I feel good about it. I feel like it was solid. Got a solid quarterback. Feel like I got a decent tight end. Damn good running back at number 1. I expect him to carry a big fucking load this year. Got my running backs. I had a plan, Nick. I had a plan, and I think I put it into action. And I may have been hammered as shit, but I didn't have a problem with walking out on those last 4 or 5 picks. I can pick that up on the waiver wire, and I think I've done that. I've made some transactions already. I feel pretty good about it, man.
Well, what transactions have you made already?
Oh, just a couple, man. I mean, I ended up with 7 receivers somehow. Apparently, somebody drafted Vincent Jackson and Nelson Aguilar for me, so wasn't too happy with them. Went ahead and got back up tight end, Mr. Green up there in Denver. Went ahead and picked up a couple more running backs. Daniel Johnston, Jarek McKinnon. Just waiting for AP to fucking break that ACL or hurt a knee or something. As soon as he goes down, I got another starting running back that's pretty much a beast, honestly. I feel pretty good about it. Got my boy Andrew Luck back. He left me last year. Just had to take him. He kind of had a shit year. I'm kind of glad that happened, but I expect him to come back to prominence. He's going to carry another big load for me this year. It's like the first season.
I'm sorry.
All in all, I feel like it was pretty decent. I made the adjustments. Oh, don't forget about that Jacksonville defense. But I do like Jacksonville. I think they're going to have a good defense. That one was a total drunk going off the heart, kind of pick, but they'll be all right. But I had to change it up.
I feel you.
I think we all had a pretty good time over there.
Oh, yeah, we did. We all did. There were words that were said, but, we all have love for each other.
Oh, yeah. I heard I threw a couple I love yous out there.
Yeah, you kind of started fondling me for a little bit, and then you tried to kiss Carlos on the cheek, and then I don't know what you were doing with Jesse.
Man, what can I say? Nick, I'm a happy drunk. I just want to have a good time.
I prefer you to be a happy drunk.
There you go.
But, I started arguing the fact that you didn't draft Andrew Luck. In fact, you drafted Jandrew Luck. I don't know who the fuck Jandrew Luck is, but...
Man, Nick, don't get all technical with me, because I feel like I need to get technical with you about the issues that everybody's been talking about last season, and I'm not tired of fucking hearing about how I dropped Devontae Freeman when you picked him up off the waiver wire. And all of a sudden, he just starts going off. Let's just get that out there right now, Nick. I want to bring up last season.
All right.
Yeah, I did. I finished last. It was a horrible showing by me, but I want to bring up a couple of points. Nick, name another team that dealt with as many injuries as I dealt with on my squad.
If I really had to think, I would say Chip, but not as many as you.
My first 4-round picks, Nick, didn't even make it through the whole season. Beast Mode, Shady McCoy, Matt Forte, Keenan Allen, all 4 at some point in time, we're done for several weeks. I had the most injuries in the league. And all I've heard out of your mouth is, I led the league the whole season. I led the league in scoring. And let me ask you this, Nick. I finished top 5 in scoring. Shouldn't that be good for a playoff position? Wouldn't you think so?
I mean, you could have the highest scoring team all year long, but if you can't get the wins, then they're useless.
I agree with that. And there's another stat that I want to throw out there. I had the most points scored against. Just like Fredo said, and I'll give him this. Nobody can score a lot of points against us. Everybody scored 140 to 150 against us. And I still managed to have a chance to get in the playoffs for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So, I mean, you know, I feel pretty good about my season last year. I can't say that I'm happy that I finished in last place. You know, that shit happens. I mean, it is the monkeys of Freightliner. But I have vengeance. I have revenge to make this year. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, Nick. You know, I'm coming for everybody.
Well, I hope so, man. I mean, like I said, I have you ranked higher than me, and when I double looked at your team, it's scary looking. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, it can be your redemption year this year, and that's scary for me because you know I've talked a lot of shit to you.
Yeah, a lot of people have Mr. So-called Champ who wants to give himself a self-given nickname, Undisputed or whatever 2 times he calls himself. I don't know. I mean, who gives themselves their own nickname? I mean, come on. You know, a nickname is something that you earn, that you deserve, that you're given, that people label you. And nobody has labeled that guy that. But, you know, I'll let him have his time in the sun. He can have his little glory while it lasts, but it's not going to happen this year. Definitely not going to happen.
Well, I mean, from the way he drafted, I don't think so either. But we've always said that, you know, for the past 2 years, and he's made it.
Nick, it will not happen 3 times in a row. Guaranteed that dude will not be able to do it again. It's just not going to happen. I guarantee it. It's guaranteed. Not going to happen. I promise you that.
Well, from the looks of it, yeah. I mean, I think not you. I think Ted's number is finally met. You know, I think everybody drafted good this year. I think everybody had their sights aimed straight for Ted, and man, sorry Ted, but it looks like your reign as champion is going to be over at the end of this year. I don't know who's going to take it from you, but somebody is. But what do you got to say to Jesse though?
Oh, Jesse, man, I have a million things to say to Jesse. Jesse is, he's about the most fair-weather bandwagon person that I know. You know, I mean, he runs his mouth all the time. And then, the next day that you see him, he walks up to you and he's like, I thought we were best friends. We're going to be teammates. We got to do this draft thing together. I want to sit next to you at the draft, Craig. I want to pick your brain. And I'll have to...
I was...
Talked earlier, Craig, his running back crew last year. Who did he draft in the 5th round? Mark Ingram. And asked him who told him to draft Mark Ingram. Because I had been set at 3 running backs for the first 3 rounds. Had a 3-headed monster. And of course that didn't necessarily work out because of injuries and whatnot, but I figured, man, I'll throw him a bone. I'll give him Mark Ingram. Take him, Jesse. And what does Jesse do? He takes Mark Ingram. And Mark Ingram carried the squad up until, the 12th week? Mark Ingram finally got hurt, you know, but I mean, hey. You know, if Mark Ingram goes down earlier like my running backs did, maybe he doesn't even make the playoffs. You know? But Jesse is Jesse. You know, he's going to run his mouth and, you know, he's going to try to start shit and whatever. But he's going down to, it's not going to work out for him this year either. You know, he thinks he knows everything and he's so good at fantasy football and Mr. 1 in 2 leagues and hasn't ever finished outside of the playoffs. Here's a prediction for Jesse. Jesse doesn't make the playoffs.
I have that prediction too. I feel like we'll play at the final game of the season, and I'll defeat him, and he won't make playoffs.
Go ahead and dominate it again like you have, Nick.
I always do.
Go ahead and make that happen.
I always do. But I want you to go into detail. I know I got, you know, the information about the B League wrong, but you know what? Just inform everybody what exactly the B League is going to be.
Well, the B League has been in existence for a couple of years now. Actually, it started the same year as Monkey Freightliner did. B-League there's a couple of us that are in the Monkeys and Freightliners that are in it right now. So we're going to have to withdraw ourselves from that league, and we're going to fill it up with other co-workers or people from, various backgrounds. But basically, title of the league, League of Eight football. That's the name of the league. It's not going to change. That's non-negotiable. The league of the name of the league is not going to change. League of Eight football. We're going to line the leagues up, get the scoring right, get all the settings going, and honestly, man, I was against it. I really don't like it. Me personally, I think we keep the top 10, the same 10 that we've been doing, but it is what it is. It was mostly a majority vote, so it's going to happen. Bottom two in the Monkeys and Freightliner get relegated. Top two in the League of Eight football are coming up to challenge for the belt. I mean, who knows where that belt's going to go year to year. It's going to be interesting, but basically that's about the gist of it, from my understanding. I don't know what other wrenches they're going to throw in that, or who knows, but not a bad idea, but makes it interesting. So we'll see how it goes. You never know.
Yeah, you're right. It's like I said. I think it's gonna spice up the competition in the Monkeys and Freightliner. Completely. I think that.
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure that you don't want to be in that bottom half and play that final fucking game. I think that's too much pressure for anybody.
Bottom line, niggas, it can happen to anybody. I mean, it can happen to anybody. Everybody's got a chance to finish last. Period. Fantasy football is a skill game, but sometimes skill doesn't mean anything to. Look at me. I finished last. I'm just glad I got it out of the way, because I don't see that happening again for a while. I think I had a pretty good draft strategy here. You learn from it. Finish last. You figure out what happened. Jesse was right about one thing. I did have a homer spot for Tony Romo, and I kept him on my roster all year, which was the demise of my team. Should have opened that up and went ahead and kept somebody else on the roster. Maybe somebody named Jordan Reed or Cam Newton or something like that. But it happens. It is what it is. So, and one thing that I want to bring up here is I hear this commish always talk about how he knows talent and he knows this, and he identifies players so well. But let me tell you something, Nick, and this is going to explain the whole Devontae Freeman drop. I knew that dude was a fucking badass when he came out. And in the first year, he was on my squad all year long. I waited for Atlanta to let that kid break out. And they wanted to stick with Steven Jackson and let him do his little ground and pound. He didn't do anything. And last year, I got Devontae Freeman in the 14th round. 14th round, Nick. Nobody drafted him.
Yeah, you're right.
And I knew Atlanta was going to let him break out. And he stayed running back by committee. Well, what happens in the first 2 weeks of the league? Shady goes down. Beast Mode goes down. I've got to find backups. Well, looks like Devontae Freeman's in the running back by committee. So what do? I let him go. And of course, lo and behold, somebody hears that Tevin Coleman has got an injury. I don't even think Atlanta intended to let that happen. They were just going to oh, fuck it, this is what we got, we're going to throw him in. They didn't even know what that guy had. And then, hey, he came through.
Yeah, he came through in a big way.
I had big hopes for that guy, but I'll tell you right now, Nick, he's not going to do it again this year. Atlanta is going to have an off year. They are not. Julio Jones will not have a great year. He'll finish top 10 receiving, but Atlanta does not look good. They do not look good.
I give you that. I give you that. To me, Matt Ryan and that whole Atlanta team, they're good during the beginning of the season, which is really what I need them for. And, we all know that they just fall apart at the end of the season. The really big gamble that I took was with Melvin Gordon. I heard that he was training with Adrian Peterson. I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to take his ass. I mean, I'm taking the same risk with Melvin Gordon that I did with Devontae Freeman, because I wasn't going to pick him up that game. I really wasn't. When I picked him up, I was just really flipping back and forth of man, do I really want to start this guy or just sit him and see what he does? And I was just like, fuck it. I'm already 0-2 or 0-3. I have nothing else to lose, so I started him, and then it just went on from there. I even didn't have that much confidence in Devontae Freeman when I picked him up. I was actually about to drop him as soon as that week was over, but lo and behold,
Yeah, yeah. No, you never know. You never know what they're gonna. I'll be honest with you. I like Melvin Gordon pick. I like Melvin Gordon this year. I think he'll bounce back here. So see how it goes. You know, you never know. Never know.
yeah. I mean, my entire team is really just me taking a risk. Is like with Sammy Watkins and with Golden Tate, even with Amir Abdullah. Like with all those pickups, I mean, I'm really hoping that they have a bounce back year, and if they don't, well, I might be at the bottom half of the league.
Yeah, it could happen, Nick. Quite honestly, I have to say, man, I don't see you being at the top. You know, I think there's going to be some big changes. I think there's going to be a couple of surprises this year. You know, yeah, I think things are going to change. They're going to take a turn. It was a really rough year. A lot of good players went early on, and I think everybody's second half of the draft was a little rough. From looking at the teams, I think we all had a little bit of a rough time.
Well, we all were drinking.
The game is going to get more competitive every year.
Oh yeah. And that's why I love this league, man. It's gonna be a competitive ass year. I think the one person that everybody's gonna be, you know, trying to keep out of playoffs is gonna be Ted. I mean, nobody wants to see that guy back in the, back in the championship game.
Hey, whether he does make it or whether he doesn't, he's not winning that fucking dub, man. You know, if I have to, I'll do it myself. I'll handle it in the playoffs. If everyone else is scared, I'll do it. I'm not worried about it. You know, I'll take any and all comers. You know, first week I got the commish. He's fucking done. I mean, yeah, I looked at the squad. He's done. It's horrible. I might as well just fucking throw up the white flag. I mean, like I said, that guy always, he knows talent, but he don't know how to draft it. He can't figure it out. I don't know what to say about him.
Yeah, no, that's my brother and all.
The big brother would have a little bit of wisdom, but it seems like this guy just doesn't know his stuff. I mean, I don't know if he just choked or what it is, but just doesn't know how to pick the players.
Yeah, I don't know what our gene pool missed in him, but he's not the brightest of the three of us.
Makes sense.
But any last words you got to say to anybody in the league? Just any parting words before we wrap this interview up?
I said it at the draft, but if anyone is trying to collude against Jesse, Ted, yourself, Nick, or Carlos, even Fredo, maybe, I'm down. Let's collude. Let's get it going. I think I had one of the best records at colluding last year. I feel like I did a pretty good job at that. I want to see it happen again. We've changed up some rules with the whole trades and all that stuff, but I can figure new ways. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna yank some chains. I've already had one trade offered to me. Jesse offered me Shady, Dez, and what's that tight end he's got? Barnage for Zeke. He said he was gonna send it through, but he never did. But I'm waiting on that proposition. So tell Jesse send me the draft. I'll consider it. Send me the trade. I'll consider it.
Wow, that man must be scared for this year, man. Jesus. Already making trades and the season ain't even started.
Jesse.
But before you... Go ahead. I was going to say, before you go, I got one thing to ask you. What do you think of the commish making up, or really just using this schedule or week schedule as an excuse?
It's all random. I'm not going to hold it against anybody. Like I said earlier, I kind of did have the most points in the league scored against me. Like I was the Dallas Cowboys of the league. Everybody just brought their fucking A game and somehow scored 140, 160 points. And it's not like I got my ass beat. I put up 120, 130, but that's kind of hard to win when people score 140, 150. I don't think it's going to make that much difference. We'll see. I do kind of like it in the sense that it's going to keep things changing. Because now those top players are all going against each other. Whoever finished in the top 5 is going against each other twice. Bottom 5 is going against each other twice. Those top players, some of them are gonna take losses. You know, it's inevitable. So it's gonna move people around. You know, I think it brings out a little bit more of the skill to the game. You know, I mean, there are weeks where people are gonna get lucky, but you gotta stay steady. You gotta stay steady, and I think that's gonna be the key. Staying steady. You know, keeping your squad tight, and watching those waiver wire moves. I do like it though. You know, like I said, it moves some up, moves some down, because there's going to be players who take losses, you know. In Jesse's case, he's taking 2 from you, apparently. So, you know, apparently...
He's taking 3.
You know, that's the way it's going to work. 3, however many it takes.
Sorry, you know, that's the stat I remember.
But I like it. I do. I like it. You know, no complaints from me on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I just get tired of hearing it because, you know, it's just, for the commission, Jesse, to come up with these excuses, I'm just sick and tired of hearing it. You know, look at them. They're even being rude during your interview, man. They're over here texting shit. But we got to wrap this up, man. But great interview, Craig. It was nice having you on the show. Again, any last words?
Yeah, no. What'd you change your team name to?
Mine is the Mil Muertes. It means 1,000 deaths.
Oh, 1,000 deaths. You know, that's really awesome, Nick. I want you to know you're fucking Joe Chuck. Eat your dick. I'm out.
What a guy. What a guy. Oh, you got to give it up for that man. You have got to give it up for him. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Monkey Hour. And man, Thursday night football was fucking amazing. To watch the Panthers and the Broncos go at it in a rematch for Super Bowl 50, just incredible. It was an incredible way to start the season off. CJ Anderson, Jesus Christ, kid, that was an amazing performance. The new fucking quarterback, what is it, Simeon? Whatever the fuck his name is. The poise that guy had for the entire game was actually pretty good, and for them to actually mount a comeback the way that they were able to do, that was pretty good. The one thing I did see in that game is I saw Cam take a little bit too many helmet-to-helmet contact, hits. But hey, that's just a part of the game. Real quick, guys, I'm gonna go down the injuries of the week. Gronkowski is out for game 1 because of a hamstring injury. So Alfredo, good luck, man. Julio Jones will play the season opener. J.J. Watt has been cleared for week 1. Jamal Charles looks like he is going to be out for week 1. May come back for week 2, but it really does seem like Jamal Charles is not going to play the season opener. Jordy Nelson is a full go for week 1. Cam Newton has been cleared of all concussion signs. He has done the protocol. He did it for 2.5 to 3 days straight. He's clear. Carlos Hyde has been cleared of a concussion. Larry Fitzgerald, because of a knee injury, will still play the season opener. And Brandon Marshall, it kind of been looking like he wasn't going to play, will play this Sunday. In other news, Ezekiel Elliott has been cleared of all domestic violence charges, but the NFL is still investigating Ezekiel Elliott. Now, what does that mean? It means that if the NFL's investigation shows that Ezekiel Elliott did do something, he might get suspended for 6 to 10 games. So, Craig, keep an eye on that, man. That's your number 1 pick. Also, in injury-related news, Romo has not been placed on IR. Jerry Jones actually expects Tony Romo to be back fully healthy by week 8 to week 10 with that broken back. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I would just keep him on the bench. Just let Dak Prescott take the reins. I don't see Romo pulling a Peyton Manning out of his ass like, what Manning did last year. I just don't see it. He could barely even take a tackle from behind, and you're expecting me to say, oh, he's going to take over the reins at week 10? I don't know about that, man. But, hey, that's Jerry Jones' decision. Now, I'm going to talk real quick about the interview I just heard. That was Craig. Craig, he did an interview, what was it, I think the same night that we aired episode 4. He heard what a lot of people had to say about him, and you know what? He had a lot of choice words for everybody. And I give him that, I give him the fact that when he dropped Devontae Freeman, it didn't seem like, he was going to play. everybody's been giving shit about it. And you know what? Like I said in the interview, you know, I'm gonna admit I wasn't gonna pick him up that week. I'm actually pretty lucky, and that was a gift from the gods that he was as good as he turned out to be. But Craig isn't wrong about one thing. Jesse, you have been quiet all week. I haven't heard anything from you. I haven't heard a response back from you when I told you need to do the smack off. The normal Jesse that I expect is the loudmouth, rash, shit talking, beer drinking son of a bitch that we all know. And he has just been quieter than crickets. Like, what the fuck is going on, Jesse? This isn't you. But you know what? If you want to be a quiet little bitch and sit in the corner while the season's going on, then by all means, Jesse, go sit your ass in your little corner. I got the game of the week. I have Jesse versus me, and I have Alfredo versus Ted. Now with Jesse and me, I've got me to dominate Jesse like I always do every single year. It's not going to be any different. You know, we're going to go back to that in a minute. Now, as far as Alfredo and Ted, that one, it's going to be a rematch from the championship game last year. Can Alfredo get his redemption? I don't think so. I think with Gronkowski being out, and I think that with some of the players that Alfredo picked, I just don't think that he's going to be able to have enough to be able to beat Ted. Ted, I got you winning your first game. Actually by a close margin. Not actually by a dominating margin, but a very close one. Picks of the week. I have Craig over Carlos. I'll give CJ Anderson this. He had a great game. Great game for you, Carlos. But Craig's running back trio will be his savior. Even though he left Kelvin Benjamin on the bench, I still think that running back trio that Craig has is going to dominate you. Your running backs, Carlos, are just still questionable. I understand that CJ Anderson had a great game for you, but that's it. I think Blake Bortles is going to be your downfall. I think Blake Bortles is going to have a shitty season this year. And, you know, you're going to be struggling to get a quarterback. Anyways, I got Craig over Carlos this week. Next game is going to be Joseph versus Chip. I have Joseph. He has a better set team, and with no Jamal Charles and no Brady for Edelman, I think that's really going to cost Chip in the season opener. I think Jamal Charles not playing in this first week, I think is really going to cost him. The next game is going to be Matthew versus the Governor. I actually have Matt in this game. This game, I think, is going to come down to the receivers, and in my honest opinion, I think Matt has a better set of receivers. The running backs for both teams, I think, will cancel each other out. I think the running backs that both the Governor and Matt pick, they're just going to be that good that no matter how many points they rack up, I think they're going to rack up the equal amount of points. And I have this game very, very close, but I have Matt pulling it out just a hair ahead of the Governor. Alrighty. Now, since we couldn't get our smack off, since Jesse was being a little quiet bitch, I guess I'm going to sound off. Jesse, this is bullshit. I've never seen you this quiet. Are you scared, son? Are you scared? I mean, it's okay. I mean, if you want to throw in the towel before the game starts, just go ahead and bench all your players, man. It's okay. Give me that free W. I mean, it already looks like it's going to be a free W for me anyways, but hey, it is what it is, Jesse. I just love the fact that all offseason you were talking about, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to kick your ass. That's all I heard from you. And the week leading up to the game, you were quiet. You were quiet as hell. I think, you know what? I think I know why Jesse's so quiet. I think he knows that I'm going to dominate him. I'm going to dominate him worse than those black dudes dominate me, Khalifa. It's okay. It's okay, Jesse. It'll be okay. You'll know who Daddy is real quick. Now, Jesse, I have some choice words for you. For the past 2 years, you have said that I have been the worst owner in this league, that I don't know how to draft, that I can barely win games, that your team and your knowledge of football is so much better than mine, but yet you only own one victory over me. I mean, granted, you do have more league championships than I do, but I mean, how many times do we have to tell you, dude, those leagues don't fucking matter. What matters is how you do in this league. What matters is, can you hold that belt at the end of this season? And Jesse, I don't think you'll ever hold that belt. Every year you talk your shit as if you're better than me, but yet you have only won one game against me, and that was a nobody game, a third place game, is if that's what you want to call it. But nobody gives a shit about the third place game. I've told you that on a constant basis. If you can't beat me in the regular season, you can't beat me in fucking playoffs. Any other game don't fucking matter. That third place game is just the same thing as a preseason. It's a fucking tune-up game, or it's a game that nobody really gives a shit about. You can have your one win, dog. You can have it. Because you know what? As long as I can continue to dominate you the way that I have, week in, week out, every fucking season, that's all I give a shit about. As long as you can't beat me in fucking playoffs, that's all I give a fuck about. All this shit talking you've done all season last year, Jesse, you are quiet as fuck now because you're scared. You know that you can't beat me. You know your football knowledge is not better than mine. You're going to run scared, and you're going to go into your corner and cry like a little bitch with your wife. I know that's what you're going to do. You're going to wonder why you can't beat me like you do every year. And this game is going to be no different. This game will be no different. My team will dominate you. Devontae Freeman will run all up and down on your team. Julio Jones will dominate the game. There's just nothing that you bring to the table that scares me, Jesse. And I will stand tall every fucking game. And this goes for everybody. Guys, this whole entire week has been fucking quiet. All I've heard is crickets come from my phone from y'all. All this little weak shit talking. Y'all better fucking pick it up. I didn't join this fucking league to just win games and say, oh yeah, I'm a winner. No, fuck no. I want to dominate y'all. I want to win this I want to hold this belt above every fucking one of y'all. And I want you to know who the true champion is by the end of this season. Get your shit together, guys. Get fucking fired up. The NFL season's about to fucking start in less than 24 fucking hours. Well, hell, it already started on Thursday, but Sunday fucking football is starting in less than fucking 24 hours. Get pumped. Get ready, guys. I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing besides playing with yourselves and watching this little Premier League, whatever the fuck you want to call that shit. Guys, we live in America, and in America, we watch American fucking football during the fall and winter. I expect better from the Monkeys of Freightliner Fantasy Football League. I expect better shit talking come from every single one of y'all. This week, this leading up week, maybe everybody's nervous. Maybe everybody's got butterflies in their stomach, but you know what? I don't have butterflies in my stomach. I will sit here every single week and talk shit to my opponents and say that I'm better. Even if I lose, I'll still say that I'm fucking better. Ran over, guys. Before we end the show, though, the one thing that I do want to say is if Terry Bridgewater is hell, if he even listens to this, I want my condolences to go out to that man. You know, to have a knee injury the way that Terry Bridgewater had his, that's rough. I've only seen one person have a knee injury as bad as that, and that was a guy in North Mesquite on a varsity game. I'm not gonna say his name, but everybody who knows who saw this injury knows who I'm talking about. He took 2 steps on a kickoff and blew his ACL out completely. Out for the season. That's the only time I've ever seen somebody, blow their ACL out non-contact. At least in football. And just to even hear or really to see the injury to Terry Bridgewater, I mean, I wanted to cry tears because it's just sad. I mean, I know I'm not a Vikings fan. I'm not a really big Terry Bridgewater fan, but again, I mean, I was an athlete. I mean, we all were athletes at one point in our day, and you just wish the best of luck for somebody who suffers an injury that devastating, man. And my prayers go out to you, Terry. I hope that you have a speedy and well recovery. And yeah, just good luck to you in your rehab. But guys, get fired up. The season's gonna start. Everything is gonna start changing. All the shit talking, everything is gonna be either be back or it's gonna be full shit. It's time, guys. It's fucking time. Let's get going. Let's get pumped. Let's get ready for this fucking season. By the way, guys, I'm gonna be watching closely on Dak Prescott. I think that he's gonna dominate the fucking Giants. I think the Giants are just an overrated fucking team. I think Eli Manning is the most overrated fucking quarterback, and I think Dak Prescott is gonna be the one to shine in that game. Mark my words. If I have to call the game, I have it 20 to 24 in the Cowboys' favor, and I have Dak Prescott leading the game-winning drive to win that game. It's going to be an epic fucking weekend, guys. Anyways, that ends the episode, guys. I will see y'all next time. Jesse, I expect you to be fucking full of fire in your ass and everything. Get your ass up, get fired up, dog. I expect a response back from you. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the episode. I will see y'all next week. Next week, I will have the results of every game this week, and also there will be a new power rankings. Yes, the official power rankings of our fantasy football league. So we're going to find out real quick after week 1 who's going to be the pretenders and who's going to be the contenders. And I plan to be a dominating contender. I'm actually going to pick up where I left off last year, and that is being number 1. Good luck to you everyone tomorrow, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.